Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for watching Outdoor GPS this morning. We just wrapped up a very cool interview with Austin Mosier, but now we're going to talk about a completely different fishery, yet still on the Columbia, with Mr. Bill Monroe Jr. He's the owner-operator of Bill Monroe Outdoors. And first off, good to see you on a Sunday.
Hello, sir.
I'm sure you'd much rather be fishing.
I would much rather be fishing.
I totally get that.
Or getting ready to go fishing.
Right.
Because
I understand.
That's what we should be doing.
This fishery you've participated in above Bonneville, that January 1 opener, many, many years, okay, like a lot of people. 10 years ago, it wasn't nearly as popular. 15 years prior.
15 years ago, we didn't see any other boats in it.
No.
It was very underutilized, just like what Austin is seeing.
Yeah.
So I can tell someone like Austin, be ready.
Yeah.
Because we might be looking for other things to do.
Yeah.
Triploids is one of them. Lake Roosevelt has that potential. I don't know.
I mean, it really does. It's location for that one.
It really
now,
is.
when you're talking about above Bonneville, the Hood River area, and the region around, to get there from Portland, Vancouver, and other areas is pretty darn simple.
It's simple. Yeah.
Right. As long as the weather will allow you.
And here we are.
Yeah. And
right
one day in, it opened up on the 1st. You sent in photos. You can show the photos if you want, right? But hundreds of boats in very small areas.
Look immediately at this photo, and you're like, oh, look at that. The snow level in January is basically at a point where we are able to access the fishery. Everybody able to come down. The snow stayed above 500 foot in one little hole right here. This is what we call the lower river, way down, near Viento. This one little spot had 96 boats in it. 96? You never see 96 boats anywhere. Here's a banky spot just east of Viento. This is for bank fishing. The amount of bank fishermen lining I-84 was unlike anything I've ever seen.
Wow.
And it was like that on the Washington side.
Wow.
The Dalles pool up in the Dalles, full. And that's what, here we are. We have another perfect storm on our hands. This is what happened.
Good conditions, good water conditions.
A lot of fish showing up, which we'll go over here in a minute, and a record buoy 10-like participation. Yeah. We've gone, and I've talked about this with a couple of people, this is a pure supply and demand issue. Sure. We've lost predation to multiple things in the lower river, sea lions, you name it, they're here year-round. They're predating on sturgeon because sturgeon don't leave, right? We've lost the lower river fishery because of this. Yeah. We've lost the Willamette because of this. And here we are. We've got this. We've got above Bonneville. We've got above the Dalles.
Quota was how much?
Quota was 675 keeper-size fish. Bonneville Pool was a 38 to 54-inch slot limit. The Dalles was 43 to 54-inch slot limit. The John Day Pool goes to 43 to 54 as well. In the beginning of the year, the states set these regulations, and they thought, okay, we're going to eliminate one day from last year's catastrophe, and we'll take away the Monday. So we'll go a Wednesday, Saturday platform. Maybe that'll buy us some days. It didn't, because of the amount of perfect conditions in play.
And lots of fish that were available.
More fish in the Bonneville Pool than I've ever seen.
Which is crazy.
Which is nuts, nuts.
It leads, well, okay, I need to back up to my original question. The quota was just short of 700. How many fish were, guesstimated to be caught that opening day?
So in that one single day opener, there were 1,365 fish caught in the Bonneville Pool.
So double what the allowed retention was in one day done.
One day.
One day.
One day. Now, in the Dalles Pool, of the 275 fish quota, they caught half, which meant that they were putting the brakes on that as well. And they will come back to that and look at that potentially on a January 16th meeting. We did agree to, the states said, let's sit down and conversate about sturgeon. We need to come up with ideas about potentially not opening on a New Year's holiday if there's perfect conditions, not having such a small slot limit in the Bonneville Pool, which makes perfect sense. to me.
Right.
In the beginning of this year, I said we should match that Dowell's pool, 43 to 54. We should probably be doing that in Bonneville.
Yeah, leave those fish underneath 43 inches alone.
For years, we've been talking about how we're killing these skinny little, snaky little turd fish, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Everybody, I don't do, but it happens, right?
Yeah.
Well, go to 43 inches.
Yeah.
In Astoria, we have gone down this road of changing slot limits to be able to make fisheries work.
Sure.
Because we want the recreational opportunity.
Sure.
That is my exact job right there. Fighting for recreational opportunity to be out there in the first place is all what we need to be doing.
And it's a constant battle, no doubt about that. I could only imagine the folks from like the Hood River area and the Dalles, you know, they're not expecting to, you know, to be a money maker specifically, but it is. It's a revenue generator for those regions. Yep. And then all of a sudden,
gone.
Done.
Done.
I mean, that's a number of reasons why I say it that way, because it is something that a lot of the regions are forgotten about for whatever reason. They just
very true.
They just don't care.
Yeah.
You know, what are we going to do to this region? They just don't care in the end. So if they were able to neck that down into that slot limit, right, make it a little bit, you know, eliminate those little tiny fish, and they really are. They're not even worth cleaning, for crying out loud. And you're taking a fish that's already 8, 9, 10 years old to get under that 40-inch range. That fish has been around a while.
Yep.
Takes me to my next question. I fished that Hood River area my entire life for sturgeon. Okay.
Yep.
We have literally caught thousands of fish there, but never have I seen populations. Again, I wasn't there. Okay, just my experience. Okay, which is valid. Would never have thought there was even that many fish there to be caught in that kind of a number in one day.
Yep.
How are these populations doing so well above Bonneville? In the theory, of course, that below Bonneville, these fish are traveling to the saltwater, and that's where they live, and they migrate up and down the river. Are these fish migrating through the dams? Are they getting there in numbers where they're different each year? Or are these the same fish living between the Dalles and Bonneville all year long?
We're going to get into the conspiracy theories now.
Okay.
Here we go.
I like that.
Now, we're in our friends group, we've been fishing, you and I, Mike, all of us, right? We were there when we were kids.
Yeah.
We've been going there since then, and now it's gone to a professional level, or we still do it on our hands, okay?
Sure.
I've never seen the amount of fish in that pool in my 25 years of fishing there.
Yeah.
Ever. I've never seen a population show up this significantly in 1 year. Last year, it wasn't like this.
Yeah.
It was good fishing, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But not 50 bites a day. I did a catch and release trip yesterday. Catch and release, that's what we've gone to. I had to, people are flying from Utah.
Yeah, you already had them booked.
And I didn't want to ruin their entire lives with this. They can't get refunds. Catch and release, we had 50 bites. 17 of our fish were in the keeper slot range. Like 10 of them were over 50 inches.
Wow.
Never seen that.
Yeah.
And here's the conspiracy theory. Are these fish getting up through Bonneville Dam, through the fish ladders? Don't know. Are they getting through Bonneville in the locks? And the locks are something that people don't quite think about. As the ferry traffic and the commercial barge traffic and the recreational traffic goes through Bonneville Dam, those locks open and close all day long.
And they're
all
open
night long, all day, all night. Now, sturgeon are notorious for piling up at the base of the tail races of Bonneville Dam. You remember the old days? You used to be able to fish there for sturgeon, for keepers.
Yeah. Launching the baits out.
Slingshot Bob. Awesome. I mean, come on. Yeah. Awesome. Well, now we're thinking maybe the sturgeon pooled up near these locks, and the barges come through, and they just pile into the, I don't know. It's the thing. They could just be going right through these locks, and there is no real fish technology, fish sensing technology in those locks to get an accurate grasp on it. That could be a thing.
It's very interesting. You did say the conspiracy theory thought of it, and the one thing that I noticed when I saw all these photos that came in on the first and the second is what those fish looked like, and we'll talk about that when we come back from this break. Don't go anywhere.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Yakima Bait, steeped in tradition, innovation, and fishing success. Procure Bait Sense, ruthlessly effective. And by North American Metals Incorporated, first choice for all your metal roofing and siding needs.